They're gonna love it.
So,
That's not even my thing.
Apparently.
Sarah says
That's
no,
all
thank
Katie.
you.
Right, you gotta delegate, right? Yep.
Sharon,
Smart girl.
yep. Yep. That's a comment.
Okay, I think I'm ready. Good, you rolling? All right, I've got 5 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order today, Monday, June 16th, 2025. Roll call, we have Selectman Howdy Goodwin, Eric Eaton, Mackenzie Jewett, Kevin Buck, myself, Jamie Thurlow, Town Clerk Sarah Abbott, and Town Manager Jesse Dunbar. Adoption of agenda. Is there anything anyone would like to change on the agenda? Okay, approval of minutes. We have the minutes from June 2nd.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of June 2nd, 2025.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from June 2nd, 2025. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Yeah, you haven't been here for a hot minute, have you? Feeling a little bit better though.
A little better.
Okay, approval of warrants. We have warrant 129 for $16,392.51. Warrant 130 for $39,155.01. 131 for $15,590.25. 132 for $4,275.88. 133 for $21,637.41. And 134 for $18,542.78.
I make a motion to approve warrants 129 through 134.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve warrants 129 through 134. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, next we have committee appointments. First one up is Harbor Committee. 4 seats are up from renewal, and they are all just the same people that applied again, correct?
Yep, all 4 are interested in being reappointed. I haven't received any new applications.
Ben Harper, Rich Humke, Art Payne, and Peter Gott.
I'll make a motion to appoint Peter Gotch to the at-large seat on the Harbor Committee expiring June 30th, 2028.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Peter Gott to an at-large seat on the Harbor Committee, term expiring June 30th, 2028. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I'll make a motion to appoint Art Payne to the at-large seat on the Harbor Committee expiring June 30th, 2028.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Art Payne to an at-large seat on the Harbor Committee with term expiring June 30th, 2028. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I'll make a motion to appoint Ben Harper to the riparian owner seat on the Harbor Committee expiring June 30th, 2028.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Ben Harper to the riparian owner seat on the Harbor Committee with term expiring June 30th, 2028. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I'll make a motion to appoint Rich Helmke to the boat storage repair seat on the Harbor Committee expiring June 30th, 2028.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Rich Helmke to the boat storage repair seat on the Harbor Committee with term expiring June 30th, 2028. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, next we have library trustees. 3 seats are up for renewal. And who do we have, Jesse? All 3?
2,
Yes.
Wesley
Oh, I
Simon
missed it.
and Rachel Foreman Ramos would like to be reappointed. Art Payne would prefer to
I'll make a motion to appoint Wesley Asiden to the Library Board of Trustees with a term expiring June 30th, 2028.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Wesley Seiden to the Library Board of Trustees with term expiring June 30th, 2028. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
And I'll make a motion to appoint Rachel Corman Ramos to the Library Board of Trustees with a term expiring June 30th, 2028.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Rachel Ramos to the Library Board of Trustees with term expiring June 30th, 2028. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, next we have the Planning Board. And we just have Beth Gott's seat is up and she's willing to serve again.
I'll make a motion to appoint Beth Gott to the seat on the Planning Board with term expiring June 30th, 2028.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Beth Gott to the seat on the Planning Board with term expiring June 30th, 2028. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, next we have Board of Appeals. We have an alternate seat that is expired 2026, and Richard Cohen has it, and he is seeking reappointment.
I make a motion to appoint Richard Cohen to the alternate seat on the Appeals Board expiring at the 2026 town meeting.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to appoint Richard Cohen to the alternate seat on the Appeals Board with term expiring at the 2026 town meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Oh. Okay, we need to do a little bit better direction here. All those in favor, we were slow motion here.
Sorry.
In favor? Opposed? Okay. Sustainability Committee, there's one seat up for reappointment, and that is currently held by David Edson, and he is seeking reappointment.
I make a motion to appoint Dave Edson to the at-large seat on the Sustainability Committee with term expiring June 30th, 2027.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Dave Edson to the at-large seat on the Sustainability Committee with term expiring June 30th, 2027. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Select board seat, Jesse, you had written in there, but
What?
Sustainability Committee.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't take that one out.
I'll give it up
Yep.
if anyone else wants it.
Yeah.
Sorry. I left that in. Nope.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Next we have, that reminds me, we should have put on a select board seat to the, safety building committee.
Yep.
Does anybody want to do
Anybody
that?
want to
Eric, Howdy's been there, I've been there, so it's Kevin, Mackenzie, or Eric.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
Oh, no, okay, just asking.
I just don't have time.
I know, I'm just asking.
Don't have time.
Okay, Kevin?
How often do you meet?
Once a month.
Once a month.
Okay.
When's the term expire on that? Did you have?
August?
It probably is 2026. No, 7. Do 7.
Do 7, okay. I make a motion to appoint Kevin Buck to the selectman seat on the, safety building committee. Is that close enough?
Mhm.
Term expiring 2027,
Second.
okay. All those in favor? Kevin, you're not gonna
I'm
vote for
gonna
yourself?
abstain on that one.
Seriously?
Come on, Kevin.
Acadia Disposal District, there's one seat open on the committee. And, yeah, Carrie Donovan,
Carrie is here, so I don't know if you had.
Yeah, I I'd be willing to go until 2027, but then I'm
Okay.
done,
Okay.
I think, at that point.
Okay. Thanks for doing it for that.
I make a motion to appoint Carrie Donovan to the Tremont seat on the Acadia Disposal District expiring June 30th, 2027.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to appoint Carrie Donovan to the Tremont seat on the Acadia Disposal District, the term expiring June 30th, 2027. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And again, thank you for doing that. I know some of these things are not, they're thankless jobs, but it's, someone has to do them, yeah. All right, next we have financial reports. Jesse.
So these reports are as of April 30th, 2025, which is 83% of the revenues for the year. In April, we collected $63,793 in property taxes, bringing total collections for the year to 94.98% of budget. We also collected $120,218 in motor vehicle excise tax, resulting in total collections at 107.05% of budget. We received $1,130 in registration agent fees, $1,108 in plumbing permit fees, $1,446 in building permit fees, $1,375 from backside blast donations, $12,326 in checking account interest, and $873 in CD interest. On the expense side, the administration cost center is at 92% of budget. In April, we had additional expenses of $1,014 in office supplies, $4,463 in membership dues, $1,230 in election supplies, $1,117 in attorney's fees, $402 in clerk training, and $1,117 in repairs. In the public works cost center, we're at 85% of budget. In April, some notable costs included $620 in repairs, $10,771 in plow and sander parts, $849 for diesel, $8,359 for sand, $2,510 for road salt, $758 in outside repairs, and $581 in supplies. On the general ledger, we received $7,765 in revenue sharing from the state in April, bringing total receipts for FY25 to $143,388, or 78% of what was budgeted for the year. In the town office reserve, you'll see a decrease of $1,187 for flooring. The employee leave reserve saw a decrease of $2,859 for the foreman's departure. The wharf fund increased $4,164. The harbor fund increased $5,381, and the Silco fund went down $9,735. Otherwise, there are no significant changes to the general reserve accounts in April.
Okay, thank you, Jesse.
What was the seal code?
The concrete ram
Oh, okay.
pieces and then regular float repair, they were all redone extensively.
I make a motion to accept the July 2024 through April 2025 financial reports.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the July 2024 through April 2025 financial report. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have Southwest Harbor Police Department's contract renewal. I think we've already approved this at town meeting, but this is just what?
This is just
Basically a
the,
deal.
yeah, formal renewal.
Okay.
The contract you signed provides that it automatically renews each year unless either town don't wish to. And the current contract allows for the pricing to change based on the budgeting process, which we have completed. So this is the recommended motion, just to keep it official.
Mm-hmm.
And Chief's here if you have any questions.
You're fully staffed now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen a lot more of you around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep. Seems like everything's ironing itself out now, so.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
They still like the schedule?
They love it.
Good. Yeah, let's stop there with it.
I'm gonna stop right there.
I heard.
motion that the town of Tremont exercise its option to renew for 1 year the contract for police services from the town of Southwest Harbor to the town of Tremont dated June 11th, 2024, per section 12 of that contract, and that per section 4 of that contract, the cost of said contract to the town of Tremont shall be negotiated with the town of Southwest Harbor, but shall not exceed $340,000 as voted at the 2025 town meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the town of Tremont exercise its option to renew the 1 year contract for police services with the town of Southwest Harbor to the town of Tremont dated June 11th, 2024, per section 12 of that contract, and that per section 4 of the contract, the cost of the said contract to the town of Tremont shall be negotiated with the town of Southwest Harbor, but shall not exceed $340,000 as voted on at the 2025, should say Tremont town meeting. Correct, Jesse?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have a consent agreement. Would you like to summarize that, Angie, or would you?
Sure, I can
Okay.
start. So I became aware earlier this year of a setback violation, and in discussions with the Weirs, we were able to determine that the shed that was permitted in 2022 doesn't meet the 15-foot side setback. According to the Weirs measurements, it's less than a foot actually from the property line. I've met with the Weirs on several occasions. We've discussed the matter and their options to resolve the violation. Their first choice is to leave the shed where it is for reasons that they can describe to you. They're also aware that the select board is under no obligation to enter into a consent agreement with them, but they wanted to exhaust all their efforts before they pursue another avenue. I think they're here, they want to speak on this issue. I can answer any questions that you might have specific about the notice of violation, but I think they wanted to sort of explain the situation themselves.
Okay, sounds good. Bill, would you like to start, or do you want to wait for us to ask questions?
Well, I guess Angie covered it, and I think you had some information. Would you like me to stand, or?
No, it doesn't matter, whatever you like.
And I want to thank Angie very much for her time, for both my wife and myself. We have a narrow lot. We also have two pieces of property. One is as the main house, and there's another small section on the side. And we also have a area that we use for our septic system, which kind of bulges over on the other side. We took the measurements, unfortunately, from there and made a mistake when we put it in the person who owns the land next to us, Sean Valio, knew exactly what we were doing all the time, and I met with him this weekend, and we walked over and talked about it, and he has no problems with it right now. It's a town issue, but I just wanted to let you know, we have great relations with him. The shed is used by my wife for business, for antiques and artwork that she has. And it's not on cement, it's on a wooden slab. It sits there, skids, excuse me, and also is wired for electricity. We had that done, we put a generator in. We had talked to Angie and gave as much information as we could, that there really was no other place on the property to put it in. It would be in a flood zone in the front of our house and the back of our house, on the water side. And the road side is a wet marsh with vernal pools, and it's really difficult to use it there. So I would ask that,
Yeah, and where the house is, it's slant, it slopes, slope in the back, so.
So we like to keep it where it is if it's possible. We understand that the setback situation now, maybe not as well as we did when we first did, but that's what we want to do.
I'm just looking at one of the maps, and it looks like you have a septic easement there anyway on the neighboring lot. So this shed would actually be, yes, it's 1 foot off the line, but it's adjacent to a septic easement, which you hold the septic to, so.
Yes.
I think that, not sure if that helps in Angie's world, but it makes it, a little bit easier. Yeah, anybody else have any questions or comments or anything about it?
Why'd you build it too big, Bill?
Yeah.
My only concern in signing the consent agreement is, Angie has issued violations to other people. Does that mean everybody that she's issued a violation to is gonna wanna come in and have us sign a consent agreement? I feel like we're opening up a can of worms a little bit, but,
What is this zone, Angie?
I believe it's Harbor Shoreline.
Harbor Shore, okay. So it should be a how many foot setback? 25?
15.
15, okay. Yeah, you have 20, you just have 20 on each side just to get to the house, so there's no way you'll ever get it there. How big's the shed?
8 by 12?
8 by 12.
Yeah.
And I do like looking out my dining room window, so it, there's no other place to put it on the sign,
Mhm.
And we do use it in the winter to hold the snow blower,
Mhm.
and it's right at the end of the driveway.
Is it on skids? I think it's, so it's movable.
It is, but the
Yeah.
wires are underground.
Yep, gotcha. I'm just thinking of, if it ever became an issue with a new neighbor, then it could be removed at that,
Correct.
The driveway runs parallel to the property line, so it'd have to be on the other side of the driveway somewhere to even
Yeah.
do the setback.
Yeah, it's a very narrow setback,
Yeah.
it's a very narrow lot, you can see how there's just not enough room in there. Yeah, I personally, I understand where you're coming from, Mackenzie. It's a hard spot to draw a line. It's where you do and where you don't. I think the only hesitation that I have is how new of a permit it is versus if it was 30 years old. I think it would be a lot easier for myself, but I think that it's being such a new permit that it's harder to waive it, but I also don't want to tell people what they should do with their land, so it's a hard thing. Eric?
I was just looking at the septic easement, it's different on both pictures, so I'm not really sure.
We have a map there.
I'm looking at, I don't know if you can see this, but this page here. Is this the easement in the small dotted lines?
Yeah, it might be easy if you do have a full size, if we brought it up maybe.
Yes, it is there.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah. This right here,
it
it's
says
not,
there.
yeah.
This one, it looks different, that's all.
Yeah, maybe we could, if Bill brought up this one. Here. Okay, gotcha.
So that is accurate.
What?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. And
Is this
you,
the property
you
that
own
guy
this
was
one right
selling?
here too?
Excuse me?
You own this right here too? No, you, okay, just that right there, okay. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah,
This
gotcha.
is the property that just sold, right?
That's the one that just sold,
Mhm.
this one's, you know, like, Shane's building. Yeah,
Mhm.
next door, neighbor. Do you wanna look at this?
No, I'm all set. Yep, thank you.
Jane,
Yes,
just to clarify, one, I don't care one way or the other, but, if you sign the consent agreement, it won't matter if the new owner 10 years from now doesn't like it or not. The town waived.
Because it's been settled.
you wait,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, just to clarify.
How long has the building been sitting there?
2022.
Yeah.
22.
It's just a couple of years. That's the only part that is hard for me. A lot of the stuff that we've seen in the past has been, like the last one that we had was, what, 30 years old, 40 years old, yeah, or more. So it's
But
hard.
I established a business there.
I know.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I understand, believe me, I fully, you know, I don't, yeah, I don't want to have to, have you move it at all. It's just hard for us to, like Mackenzie said, if we, do a consent agreement, then why wouldn't Jesse build a building a foot from the line and then 2 years from now say, wow, I'm already set up shop there, so. It's hard, that's all. That second, I just wanna make sure I'm clear about this too, so I'm not missing anything here. I see where the septic easement is, but is that actually a parcel of land, Bill, that you have that's on the neighbor's lot that's marked over 17 feet, like it showed on there, or is that just
It's owned by the neighbor.
it's owned by the, okay,
That's right.
yeah.
We have easement rights to use
Yeah,
it.
I thought, I just wanted to make sure, I'm just trying to think of any possible thing here.
Have you guys contacted DEP just to see what the process would be? 'Cause usually they're pretty good to work with. I work with them quite a bit.
Process of what?
To move it into the wet meadow area where you would have to contact DEP and get approval.
No, we have not, but that, I mean, I don't wanna have it in front of my house.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
wanna have it in front of my. And that land is all, it used to be farmland, so it's all slope, you know, bumpy and not great to walk on and it just.
DEP wouldn't have to weigh in on any other location on the property, would they, Angie, because it's not,
If they alter the wetland, they would.
yeah, but if it's outside of the 75-foot setback, then they wouldn't.
I think that whole area in the front is part of a, some kind of
The-
wetland.
The water
Okay.
side.
No, the opposite side,
Oh,
where it is
okay.
wetlands.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a wetland all across the neighbor's property and that section between the road and their house.
And the back of the house, it's slopes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, with a, you have a walkout foundation on there, so, yep. I'm just trying to think here.
And besides that, we didn't wanna block any views, you know,
Mhm.
where it's waterfront. We didn't wanna put it in a place that would block a neighbor's view
Yeah.
or block our view.
And there's nothing, Angie, that there's any forgiveness in there where it's on skids, where it technically could be moved, so it's not a fixed, well, okay, I'm just,
Fortunately not.
I knew there was a, what, under so many square feet, but that's like 8 feet or less.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Yeah.
neighbors sell the easement area?
Yeah, that's also, do you think the neighbors would be willing to sell just a little bump out so you didn't have to mess with it? I know.
I think they're interested in building a house there and probably wouldn't in the
Okay.
future. Just had recently appraised.
Yep.
Yeah, they're looking at their setback also
Mhm.
to build their house.
Yeah, they've just got a camper on that property.
Yeah, those are all tight lots right there.
Yeah.
Just looking, I mean, there is very little room to build.
And remind me, if new owners came in and bought the piece of property next door, they don't have anything to do with it if we consent to it? They have no,
They have
so
no
that
say over
shed,
it.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's, it's tricky.
But where it is, I don't think anybody can build right next to it anyway.
Yeah.
Because that itself is wetland
Mhm.
on that side.
Yep.
So there wouldn't be anything that they'd be able to put that close.
I think Mackenzie meant if they ever had an issue, if they ever came back to us and said, hey, this, you know,
Yeah.
we feel like this is too close, then could you move it then? And that's what I was thinking, that if it became if your neighbors say, this is great, we're fine with it. If it became an issue 10 years down the road, address it then, but that's not how it would work with the consent. Is there any way to, I know I'm taking the can, but Jesse's like, stop. Is there a waiver, Jesse, for, no, okay.
Not that I'm aware
No,
of.
I'm trying.
I just think it's a slippery slope to start, that's all. And I'm sorry, like, I feel terrible, like, but we're opening up a whole can of worms to the whole entire town. We could be signing consent forms every night if Angie's out.
I know, and like I said.
And we have
just-
rules for a reason.
If I added on to the side of my shop and used it for a couple of years and just said, hey, it's.
Yeah, I hear ya.
too
I mean, it
close, you know,
stinks.
then it-
Yeah,
it's.
yeah,
I know. it
yeah,
stinks.
I get it. What about you guys? Crickets.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to say leave it, it's just, it's brand new and it's right on the line. That's just, and it's bigger than what it's supposed to be.
Oh, it's bigger than the permit? I missed that part. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, I got the permit, and then we went to look for them. They had one on sale there, they had the door in the right place, and just happened to be permit.
Yeah.
Is the 12-foot side, I mean, is towards,
The 12-foot side is on the boundary.
Mhm.
okay, so the 8-foot,
It's facing
on
the
water.
12-foot side's parallel to the property line?
Correct.
Okay. So turning it around would make it worse,
Mhm.
if you turned it 90 degrees, okay.
I know, I'm trying to think of anything too, I'm trying to get creative
Sure,
here, I'm just
sure.
trying to, yeah.
Yeah, so there's really no other place to put it, really.
I understand your concern, Mackenzie, but I guess I'm okay signing it personally.
Okay,
Um,
sure, that's your.
Yeah. I think it is a dangerous direction to head in.
It sure is.
I know, and like I said, I think it's a very hard call, cause I don't wanna get people should be able to do what they want on their land. I'm 100% for that, but we also have, you know, some restrictions for a reason. And if it was a 15-foot setback and it was at 10 feet, I would be, you know, so so what? A foot is a little harder, and only being there for 2 years makes it a little harder for me as well.
I guess my question is, why we just realizing it 2 years later? That it's,
Because I think the neighboring property, would that be why this was brought up?
Nope, when I came in January, I was given a list of possible violations. and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that.
Yep, gotcha. So it was on the list beforehand. Yep. Yes.
That almost makes it even worse, we've known about it.
A little bit of opinion, but I don't know all the things that, you know, you're involved with, but it seems like if the neighbor doesn't have a problem with it, then why not let it be what it is?
And I feel exactly the same. I'm just, I'd be concerned with, if that neighbor sells their property in 5 years and then, you purchase it and you have an issue with it, you know, oh, well, they're, you know,
Well, then they would have to deal with that at the time, but they wouldn't have to deal with it.
yeah, but I think if we sign this consent agreement, then the new owners wouldn't have any say in it. Yeah, so that's the part that it's, I know, wish there was a way to, for it to be fine until, those,
Until somebody complains.
until somebody,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
until the neighbors change, or until the neighbors had an issue. There's no way to draft any of that stuff in a consent agreement, Jesse, no,
Not that
okay.
No, and I think they want some finality too.
Yeah, I know.
I think maybe the new neighbor's gonna say, hey, I hate that. And then
Mhm. Just trying to think through any options here. Anybody have anything, any motions, any?
I mean, I can make a
Yes.
motion and we can vote,
Yeah,
if that's
I can say
what
I
you
can
would
do
do.
that too.
Go ahead.
Right here. I make a motion to approve and sign the consent agreement between the town of Tremont and William R. Weir and Charlene M. Weir.
second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve and sign the consent agreement between the town of Tremont and William R. Weir Jr. and Charlene M. Weir. Is there any discussion?
I think I'm good with it, just because the neighbor is okay with it. I think that's a good point. And
That's what.
that's my only turning point.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm against it because it is in violation in multiple ways. And that's the big reason. But if your neighbor's okay with it, and they've been long-term neighbors, how long have they been there?
4 or 5 years, I think, yeah.
Hopefully they're there for a while.
In the future, yeah.
Okay.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay. All right, next, we move on. Oop.
There was a section in there about fine or penalty, are we gonna?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I thought I saw something else. I thought I read that, yeah. Should we make a separate motion on that, or either to waive it or come up with a number, or just, is that
The consent.
in your wheelhouse?
Yeah. The consent agreement passed, so it will be done. Has there been any, like we usually do, is just time, how much time? Any lawyer
Yeah.
fees, any,
There's no lawyer's fees, just,
Okay.
you know, staff time working on it.
okay,
I think the sort of, the other idea between a penalty penalty too, is this is cheaper than going to court for them, but it's not a free pass to just
Yeah.
get it okayed and not pay anything.
Yeah, and we should have brought that up earlier, actually, I think that might have changed my vote a little bit, that if you, you know, you built too close to the line, you know you did, and it's not the right size building, so I think there should be some sort of a fine for that. Nothing huge, but just something, and, any rough ideas?
Do you have a ballpark on how much time was involved?
Oh, I would say maybe 10 to 12 hours.
Okay.
I have a quick question. I think
Yes.
I was sick when you signed the last consent agreement for that house.
Mm-hmm.
Did they get a penalty?
I don't.
No, okay, I'm.
That was a 40-year-old one?
Right, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
that
understand
was-
that, yes,
that
but
was like
I don't
yeah,
think I
40,
was here
50
for that,
years
so
old,
just,
Yeah.
it's-
yeah, okay,
Yep.
And that was all permanent, apparently, there was a.
gotcha, okay,
That was, I
There's
don't
also
remember.
another owner too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
New owner.
okay,
yeah, that's how it
okay, yeah.
came out, yeah.
Okay.
So, anybody think that we should have enforced some sort of a penalty on that?
What do you
I don't
pay
think it's a free
per
pass.
square footage when you do your building permit?
Yep.
So they paid for 80 square footage. So they shouldn't pay for the rest of that,
$25 minimum, yeah.
so at least the rest of that.
So with that, another, that's
After
16
the
square
fact
feet,
is-
yeah.
After the fact is,
It's not really an after tax, they got it from. It's just a square footage.
$250 sound? I mean, it's something,
Sure.
Okay,
isn't it? Yeah.
yep, that sounds pretty good.
Let me take a shot at it, see how bad I mess this up. I make a motion to attach a $250 penalty to the agreement just agreed upon between the town of Tremont and William R. Weir Jr. and Charlene M. Weir. Does that sound,
Yep.
make sense?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to attach a $250 fine that goes along with the consent agreement that was just agreed upon between the town of Tremont and William R. Weir Jr. and Charlene M. Weir. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? That sound good to everybody? Yep.
Sounds great.
Very fair.
Okay.
That's about as fair as it gets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. All right, facility use application for the Tremont PTO
Thank you, Angie.
for the Bernard Wharf for a mackerel derby. That's been a few minutes since they've done that. That was fun last
Yeah.
time
I
they
love
did it.
that.
Yeah, kids had a blast.
Are they running yet?
What's that?
Are they running yet?
The other day, down the dock, I saw, there was a gull get one, small, it was a
okay,
small
yeah.
baby mackerel.
um,
Think of one.
I think there's representatives from
Oh, okay.
PTO here if you have any questions.
Yep. Would you like to add anything to that? I think it's great. I think it's awesome to do it.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Yeah. You gotta get Jason on the microphone again. Yeah.
We're gonna try.
He had
He said
fun.
he was going.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, he had fun with it. Yeah.
Jason Clough?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the local MC.
Yeah.
I figured that was the Jason.
I'll make a motion to approve and sign the consent, nope, just kidding. Approve the facilities use application for the Tremont PTO to use the Bernard Wharf on August 24th, 2025 for a mackerel derby.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the facilities use application for the Tremont PTO to use the Bernard Wharf on August 24th, 2025 for the mackerel derby. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Anything we can do to help, let us know.
Thank you.
Get one Yeah, okay, yeah. Put Toad to work, he's in my trouble. All right, next we have surplus sale. We had previously listed around 20 concrete ramp pieces. They did not sell correctly, and no bids, no nothing. And obviously, I do agree that it's gonna have to be more than that for someone who wants to ever use them for anything. 20's not gonna get you very far.
Yep, so I did check with, the harbor master, there's 50, I think it's 51 back there. He said he would be comfortable with us keeping 10 there for the Bernard Wharf, which doesn't really get that much, damage from the ocean, or use like seal coat there. So he said he was comfortable if the board wanted to sell, try and sell 40, that was fine.
As long as we don't need them later.
Well, one nice thing about the newer style ones is you can get them with stainless.
Yeah.
These all have steel in it, so.
Yep, I
I
agree.
don't see why we should hang on to these ones for another 20 years until we need them.
And then they'll
we'll
be,
have, put nice stainless ones in that are gonna last,
Yeah.
yeah,
you know, so.
the 15th time they get old and
Well,
whatever
yeah.
else. I mean, not much of them.
It'd be nice to hang on just to enough in case we break one or
Yeah.
two.
Oh, yeah.
Or what, 3 or 4.
Mhm. Get a motion?
I'll make a motion to advertise 40 concrete ramp sections available for surplus sale.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to advertise 40 concrete ramp sections available for surplus sale. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Said there was 50, right?
All right, next we have administrative official appointments. We have a list. I like the motion with as listed in this one.
I think that's what you did.
That sounds very good. If anybody wants to see the list, it's right here.
Right here, here it is.
There you go, I'll do that. I make a motion to appoint Jesse Dunbar as town manager, deputy tax collector, treasurer, general assistance administrator, and road commissioner, and confirm his appointment of the following town officials as listed in this memo. There you go.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Jesse Dunbar as a town manager, deputy tax collector, treasurer, general assistance administrator, road commissioner. What about the text reader there? I feel like that should be on there, that, whatever that was. That's an extra title that you've just picked up.
Jamie's not letting
confirm-
the text reader go.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna, I know it's gonna be in the trash for it. And to confirm his appointment of the following town officials as listed in this memo. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, next we have cemetery lot prices. You gonna start
So-
charging more, Barry?
No, this is just updating the document that goes over it, there's no change to the prices, we just removed, Rich Cemetery, as there's no longer lots available, and we routinely get calls asking, so, just remove that one, everything else is the same,
Which one's the Rich Cemetery? Just,
the one right across the bridge.
oh, okay, yeah.
I make a motion to approve and sign the June 2025 cemetery lots and prices sheet.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve and sign the June 2025 cemetery lots and prices sheet. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, next is town manager's report.
Alright, in the last 2 weeks, I have been doing, we started the Text My Gov trainings, myself and Katie.
Did you invite Jamie? I'm just asking.
will be happy to know that the town can block numbers
Oh.
if they should become an issue. The service will
Why
also.
didn't that make the paper anyway? I just want to know, yeah, I mean,
Right.
seriously.
The service will also automatically block if it's too repetitive.
Okay.
So,
Mhm.
prepped for the EMS planning meeting, had my monthly check-in with the code enforcement officer, met with the sustainability committee chair, had a meeting via Zoom with the Gouldsboro Sustainability Committee, chair, wanted to go over some things, get input. I met with, Greg from GF Johnston at the, potential public safety building site, worked on agenda prep, met with Climate to Thrive about an upcoming grant from the state, toured the potential public safety building with the code enforcement officer, met with the police chief, and Omega Security, looking at, our camera systems we have here. Met with Bob at the library to go over some small projects the library needs done. Attended the EMS planning committee meeting and did the financial reports. Office staff was busy with BMB reports, attending trainings, tax collections, vitals and dog reporting, and finished typing the town meeting minutes. Public Works, busy mowing and trimming, mower repair, working on the Silco picnic area. Took 2 new picnic tables down there, did a supply run, trimmed and filled potholes on Leffingwell Road. There was an appointment from Beauregard for the case. Cleaned up broken glass on Kellytown, removed the fallen tree at Fly Cemetery, started filling potholes on Bernard Road. And the harbor master adjusted some mooring chains, set 2 new moorings, built new desk for the office, worked with the camera company on wiring for the office. HG Reed was there last week hooking up plumbing, wharf cleanup and mooring billing. And over the next few weeks, I will be attending the League of Towns meeting, attending the safety meeting for the lobster boat races, and working on getting the text bike out set up.
Thanks, Jesse. Suggestions for the next meeting? Date of the next meeting?
I'll make a motion to confirm the date of the next meeting for Monday, July 7th at 5 PM at the town office.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to confirm the date of the next meeting for Monday, July 7th, 2025, 5 PM at the town office. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, next we have an executive session entitled Land Acquisition.
I make a motion to go into executive session as permitted by MRSA 405.6.c for consideration of the acquisition or disposal of real property or rights therein, since premature disclosure of this information would prejudice the competitive or bargaining position of the town.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session entitled Land Acquisition as read by Kevin. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? I've got a time on that too, Jesse, if you want it, 5:53. All right, we are out of executive session at 6:36. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?